Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show today. I'm hoping everybody's enjoying this great weather. It is definitely, we're having the rain and it's beautiful weather, and it's really green out there. It's definitely spring, and I tell you, it looks beautiful. This is my favorite time of year, and I really enjoy it. So this morning, I'm going to get right into it. This morning, we're joined by Bob Jennings of Tax Speaker, and to discussing an upcoming seminar season. Good morning, Bob. How are you this morning?
Great, Sandy. Thanks for having me in this morning. Right at the 1st of May. Here we go.
Yes, here we go. Now, Bob, you've been working with MSATP for many years and provides our members great education, not only because your speakers are great speakers, but also they're practitioners. Yeah. And they really come to the table with really some insights because they're in the trenches just like the rest of us. But before we get started with the seminar season, discussing what are you hearing about this great tax season we've had? I know I'm hearing a lot of so what about you?
Well, the number one comment, single worst tax season in the history of the profession. And that's not from one person, that's from 100 people. I don't know about you. For us, it was more difficult, but I think the big high volume companies, they really felt it this year.
Oh, I think so too. And that's what we're hearing too. How, I mean, you know, it's interesting. You and I both been doing this for many years. And, you know, we always hear, wow, that was a terrible tax season, worst I've ever had. And you heard that, but it's more than that this year. It was like, this has been unbelievable. It wasn't just one thing. It was the software. It was the constantly, looking at the responses from our clients on, almost looking at us, why am I paying this? Why do I have to do this? And it's the various things because they didn't change their W-4. They've been getting their money throughout the year. And now, that big refund, well, that went bye-bye. And so that whole process. And the other thing is the inability to find really qualified people to do the job and willing to step up and spend the hours to do this work. And I mean, that's what we're finding as well.
Well, I think the schools are de-emphasizing tax practice, whether it's accounting or the finance or anything, and the few that are emphasizing tax are aiming them to the national firms, and it's having a double whammy on you and me and everybody else doing these returns.
Right, and actually, I was at the meeting for the Board of Accounting, and they're saying even the registration for colleges is down in the accounting area. So we really have to do something, for us for our profession to continue, because we're all getting older, and I have to say, one of the great things about this profession, you can do it as you're older. You really can, and I mean, if you can make it through tax season, you can make it through the rest of the year. And so you do have the longevity, but do you want to do it until your 80s and 90s? Not really.
But we do see people around the country. I do see 80-year-olds still coming to class. The twin brothers that I see there in Frederick every year, those big tall guys.
Peter and Paul, they're right there. It is amazing, isn't it? They love it. But it is. It's part of you. And, and that's one of the wonderful things about this profession is, when you get the bite, I guess, you really do. And, if you love taxes, you really do enjoy doing it. You really do. So, and that's where I'm at. So our first seminar with Tax Speaker is going to be preparations of compilations and reviews. Now, you just told me this morning, I thought we were going to have Bill Leonard, but you have now told me that you're going to be coming out for us. That is great news.
Bill Leonard has decided to run for president, and I made that up. He's not. But no, the travel issues, I just said, hey, Bill, I'll do comp and review. I'll be there both days for that class. Whether that's good or bad, let's hope it's good. But the compilation review is, people don't seem to want to take that unless they have to. And then at the end of it, they say something like, my gosh, I had no idea. So, if somebody's still doing returns and still doing financials, our number one goal is to make sure that you get the latest and greatest, but to give you the tools. I try to give you all the letters, the engagement and report letters that you're going to need for the coming year. we make sure they're updated. We have had a couple of new SARs in the last few months, and they're updated and in the book. And of course,
Right.
you get it electronically as well. So they'll get all of that stuff when I'm there. And the accounting course, I do tend to tell a few stories in there. So there will be a few stories as well.
Well, there you go. Well, that's understandable, but as you say, one of the reasons why we're having it in Ocean City is because our Delaware members have to have that 8 hours of accounting, and their reporting date is of June 2019.
Oh, wow.
So that's one of the reasons why we're doing it. Again, that's what we do. I mean, as a society in Maryland, we do have members from all around the states all around us, and we want to make sure that everybody's covered. And so, like I said, it's one of those topics that you really, I'm not too excited about going, but some of us have to do it.
I've got to do it because they make me. Yeah.
Yes. Now, with our large population classified as baby boomers, I'm very excited about our next event that we're having also in Ocean City, which is the Complete Retirement Guide. Now, I know this is a new class for you. Well, I maybe a revamped class. Maybe that's what we should call it. So that will be on May 24th down in Ocean City. So what will the audience there be able to learn from you in Ocean City on this topic?
Sandy, I think on that one, you hit the nail on the head. We decided we have a speakers meeting every year. In fact, ours this year will be in a month or so. And we just talk about what's going on, what we've covered and what we haven't. And what we realized last year was that because of all the tax law changes in 17, 18, 16, we really have let drop all of our coverage of things like KEOs and SEPs, Simples, 401ks, IRAs, everything. So the first thing we thought was, we need to cover that this year. The next thing, I made our speakers take our Social Security class. And as you know, I enjoy doing that class. And I think either I or Ron Roberson was there last year doing it for you. And we realized, we've been talking about Social Security, but nobody seems to be talking about the rest of it. And that ties directly to your baby boomer population.
Right.
So this year, I was looking at that and I kind of had an idea. Let's bring it off, bring it back. Let's really bring it up to date. A lot of planning and things like that. But then we've added the third element, which is if you read anything, both the Democrats and the Republicans, a lot of discussion about major changes in retirement accounts. I'll be covering those if they occur. If they don't occur, it's surprising. Even in writing the book this year, there's always one of those, after 30 years of doing it, you go, oh, crap, I didn't know that. So we're excited about it. I'm excited about it. The only person doing it will be me around the country. And you guys will be the first. But it's because of the aging population, the fact that, nobody, at least in our classes, has really covered it in several years because so much other stuff. And I think Congress is going to be doing something very quickly on this one. I am excited about it. Be a good class.
Oh, yeah. Great. And like I said, and this is a members only class. So we're doing it down in Ocean City with our 60th anniversary with the society. So I am so glad that you'll be able to join us down in Ocean City for that. So this is
Sandy. We cover both individual and business plans there. I'll be doing IRAs in depth. Raw, but then I'm also going to do both the small business SEPs and Simples and the bigger businesses, both from a business and an employee's point of view. We'll talk about 401ks and all the rules. That's the big one. The single 401k. We're going to cover everything that we can for small to sole proprietors to medium-sized businesses, whether you're an employee or a business owner.
Right. Just to keep on that thread, one of the things that, that I've been passionate about and the society has is in the state of Maryland. I don't know if you know this, but we have a pension exclusion for Maryland taxes. And you can get it, but you cannot get it on your IRAs. And we have been trying for between 10 to 13 years, talking with the legislature to try to get that changed because so many of our people and our clients are going IRAs, they don't get the benefit of that pension exclusion. And sadly, we tried again. Actually, Phyllis Burlage and I went down and testified down in Annapolis on this again this year, and it didn't get out of committee, which is really disappointing because, so many of our clients, because, they're being told, put in your IRA, put in your IRA, put in your IRA, and they get no benefit when they retire, which is a real shame.
Yeah.
So just changing gears there. Now, I know one of the things we had this year was the 199, the QBI. Boy, that was almost like a three-letter bad word. I tell you, it gave everyone headaches. And in fact, I know many of our members put returns on extension just because of that. They said, I got to deal with this later. Because there's just too much going on there. Now, we're going to be looking at the seminars on the business come the early fall. So what can we expect on those seminars?
We had a conference call with all our speakers the other day, and the collective moan could be heard when I said, ladies, gentlemen, whether we like it or not, we got to hit this hard again this year. We had new regulations, IRS issued, of course, in January. We've got those covered. And then the IRS came out with questions and answers, 6 more Q&A on like April 13th or April 7th. So we're covering those. It's big enough that once again, we have totally rewritten all that stuff.
I like how you hesitated there for a moment.
Yeah, just like all of us. It's a fantastic deduction, and it's new. It has its own set of problems. And anyway, we're going to have more in-depth coverage of it. And what we're going to do is, as of right now, we are going to hit it hard again in our business classes. The 1040, we will hit it not as hard, focusing primarily on all the things that the Congress changed. Now, as far as the amount of time, if you'd have asked me this last year, I thought QBI would take us 45 minutes. And if you came to any of the classes, it was 4 hours. And we didn't get a single complaint nationwide over 4 hours. Please, God, don't let it be 4 hours this year. But we are going to make sure we give you the latest and greatest. That's what we have to do. So.
Right. Now, like you said, then that goes right into our, the federal tax, the 1040, in which we'll have in November, December, and January. Now, I can't imagine, that we're going to have the tax act that we had this year, but I cannot imagine that we're not going to have some changes. Just because we've now gone through a tax season, and I would not be surprised. What do you think?
Well, let's start here with this. We're still waiting on an extender bill for all the stuff that expired at the end of 17, and I think we're going to see an extender bill still for 18. Oh, I know that everybody wants to hear this. I think we're going to have to amend a bunch of 2018 returns.
Oh, get out.
Well, at least you said get out instead of some other words. I think we're going to see an extender bill. I don't see politically that a whole lot else will go through. But, I'm almost hoping they don't. I was thinking, like our business in depth class this year, I've had to totally redo the accounting methods chapter just because we got all these people that were using 263A and accrual, and IRS came out with a new form after the seminar season was over. So in the business classes, we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing QBI, major changes in S corps and partnerships. And then you go over to the federal tax update. I kind of have to make sure that in the federal tax updates, we do the business stuff with all those changes. And on the federal tax update, we're like you guys run that are both individuals and businesses.
Right.
I'm scared I'm going to get it done. So that kind of leads me to the 1040 class, where let's throw another one in. I am being inundated with questions on this new opportunity zone stuff. So at the individual level, you're going to have extender bill, opportunity zone, QBI, all the other court cases that go on. I don't think it's going to be as big a change as we saw last year in the seminars, but I am a little worried again. I was talking to Ron Roberson, who's working on the opportunity zone stuff for us this year. And I said, Ron, we need to try to keep that at like a half hour. He said, no way, can't do it. So 1040 wise, you're going to see opportunity zones. We are going to get the changes in QBI. I do think there will be an extender bill. And then, of course, we'll be reviewing the court cases and changes there. So I don't know if that's answered your question, but that's kind of where I'm looking at.
Right. And like I said, I think you're right. I think this opportunities issue, I think, is one of those ones that, I know you touched on it in this past year, 2018. And I think that's where the conversation started. But I think deep down and diving into it, I think there's more there that, than people know about.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Ron's going to bring to the table.
Yeah. Well, as an owner of a seminar company, you're kind of excited about that. But as a speaker for said seminar company, you're kind of apprehensive about it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, what do you think? And what do you think about the W-4? Are you going to touch that on any of the classes? Because that's
in the 1040 class, and the plan is, of course, to hit it in the 1040 class. As far as the federal tax update, it's going to be in the book. It is going to be of lesser emphasis than the opportunities on the QBI. It's going to be in there. I hope to get to it. I don't want to promise it. It will be in the 1040, and it will be covered in the 1040.
Okay, and there's the other one that just came out that just it was really more of addressing the way that we as preparer are working with our clients. It's the Tax Act of 2019. It's HR. I'm trying to think of what it is, but I didn't know if you were going to touch on that at all.
Unless it's signed, I don't really pay a whole lot of attention until it's signed. So,
okay,
if something is passed there, yeah, we will be talking about it.
Yeah, because what that one really dealt with was, it's almost like an extension of the Circular 230.
Okay.
It was, nothing we're having to do with tax law, but how we as practitioners are relating to our clients, cybersecurity, that sort of thing, the box returns. Because that's a big issue. Really, is a box return self-prepared when you're having these little CPAs in the corner?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that really a self-prepared return? So, well, Bob, I think we have a big seminar season ahead of us. I'm really looking forward to it. It's amazing. Who would know we would be here today with all these changes? Well, I know you've taken your time to be with me this morning, which I truly appreciate. Any last words you'd like to share with the audience?
Sandy, I was thinking about this when before we talked this morning. Last year, I made a comment, and I think I want to repeat the comment. You guys, you and I talked about this indirectly a little bit before we went online. In Maryland, you're so blessed with, from my point of view, the best education program put on by any state society in the United States. Now, folks, you know me, and I wouldn't say that if I didn't believe it. You guys do a great job. You have great opportunities available. And the thing I would suggest is, if you're a member of MSATP, you got to take advantage of this stuff, not just going to the classes, but you were telling me about the new Young Professionals program. This is exciting stuff, and it's got to be there. And if you're thinking, well, how's it going to affect me? I just do taxes. Someday you're going to want to retire, and it's going to have an effect if there isn't anybody to buy your business. That's where the MSATP comes in. And you didn't know I was going to say that. I don't get paid to say that.
I did not know.
You're not stopping me, I notice, either.
Yeah, bring it on.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to add. You guys, you're lucky enough. Let's take advantage of what's available to us.
Well, Bob, that was so very nice of you to say, and we really appreciate it. And I think the other thing, right back at you. We have a great relationship, and that's one of the great things. I can email you, like I said, just last week and said, Bob, how about a show this week? And you make time for us, and I really, really appreciate that. Well, I think we have a great relationship and a partnership, and I really am happy about that. Now, with that, since you're going to be there Thursday or Friday, can I count on you to be joining us on Thursday night at the gala as we celebrate our 60th anniversary?
Do I have to wear a suit?
No, it's a casual. No. It's a badge. Oh, that's wonderful. I am so glad. Oh, yes, I'm so happy about that. Yay. So wonderful. Well, thank you, Bob, and I thank you again for joining us this morning. Now, next week, we're going to have with us on our show USB, which is one of our corporate sponsors who does credit card processing. As Bob alluded to, we are not just seminars. We do have other things that we offer as members, these type of benefits, discount programs. So please, hopefully, if you can join us, we'll see you next week. And I please do not hesitate to reach out to the society. We're here to help you. We're here from 8 o'clock to 3:30 every day. You can reach us by chat online, by phone or by email. So any questions or anything we can help you with on the 16th anniversary, our new education plans that we put together. And so anything like that, we're here to help. And thank you, Bob, for joining us. And I wish everyone a wonderful day today.
Thanks, Sandy.